Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, we'll be tackling 3 important procedures related to ear piercings. First, we'll focus on removing studs from piercings that have been improperly executed. Next, we will demonstrate how to safely open a blocked piercing without resorting to a needle. Finally, we will be carrying out 3 new piercings, so stay tuned. To begin, let's examine the 2 Helix piercings on the ears. It appears that both piercings have been executed incorrectly, as they are not aligned properly, one on the right side and the other on the left. The studs used in these piercings are essentially the same, but they were poorly placed. To safely remove the studs without causing any harm to the tissue, we will need to carefully take off the stoppers using a specialized pair of pliers. While these pliers may damage the stopper slightly, they allow us to remove it without pulling, ensuring that it comes off easily and minimizes trauma to the piercing site. This method is crucial, especially since we have no intention of reusing these particular studs, evidenced by the noticeable swelling around the hole on both the front and back sides, indicating irritation. Next, it's essential to clean the area thoroughly to disinfect the piercing site after removing the stud. On the opposite ear, we observe the same unfortunate scenario. Using the same technique and tools, we will proceed with the second piercing. Before we remove the studs, it's important to note the presence of crust and debris that has built up on the studs. We must clean this off first to prevent pushing any dirt further into the piercing during removal, which could lead to complications. As I clean the area, it's evident how thorough disinfection is beneficial. Moving on, our second task is to address a blocked piercing. I suspect that it may not be completely blocked yet, so I'll use 2 different sizes of cannula needles, not to perform a new piercing, but to utilize the plastic part alone. We begin by pinching the tip of the cannula and trimming it to create a thinner, slightly sharper point. Remember, our objective is not to pierce, but to gently push through the blockage. With 2 different sizes ready, we can see that the smaller one is a gauge 20 and the larger one is gauge 18. I will start with the thinner piece, as using the right size is crucial for this process. While this method requires patience, it's worth it to spare the client the discomfort of getting a new piercing. The key is to keep the plastic rotating, which will help in gradually pushing through the blockage. After some time, you'll notice that it eventually emerges on the other side, revealing some flesh that had been blocking the piercing channel. Next, we'll swap out the thinner piece for the larger gauge, which will help push out the smaller one and replace it. Now that the piercing is fully cleared, we can proceed by placing a new stud that promotes better healing. The design of this stud is specifically suited for the lower area of the ear piercing. Importantly, once a stud has been in place for over 3 years, you typically don't have to worry about the piercing being fully blocked. It's just a matter of reopening. On the other ear, the client underwent surgery and, as a result, required a re-piercing because it had closed up completely. With some discomfort on the scar at the lower part of the ear, we ensured the experience was as pain-free as possible, though it's next to impossible for a piercing to be painless on a skin with the scars. Now, we are ready to insert the same type of stud we previously used in the right ear for consistency. One of the benefits of this stud is its versatility. It can be positioned in various ways for aesthetic appeal. Unfortunately, I neglected to record the process of performing the rook piercing, but I'm pleased to share that it turned out beautifully, harmoniously complementing the lower piercing. On the left side, we also successfully completed another rook piercing. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this content helpful or interesting, please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.